It's just different when Big Papi is in the house. The air feels different. The crowd is electric. David throwing out the first pitch, and this place was pulsating. Got it going, exactly the point. And Alex Cora catching that. Looked pretty darn good again. How many warm-ups did you do, Big Papi?
Hey, like 20.
Like 20. Okay. That was a beauty. Perfect.
They got the cage down there.
I don't want to be looking like 50 Cent out there, you know?
No, you don't. No, you don't. No chance of that ever happening. Great to see you, bud.
Thank you for having me. I mean, great atmosphere around here. I tell you what, one of my really good friends, we always get together, and he always insists on asking me, hey, how come in October you look absolutely different? And I was like, you know what, though? Once the weather starts changing in September and that kind of like nice, cool weather start kicking in, it was like oxygen for my lungs. You know, like,
yeah.
I'm telling you, that feeling, and that's exactly the feeling around here right now. Look at the crowd going. Nothing better than Yankees and Red Sox. It get better when we whoop them.
Well, we were saying that kind of the first time in a while, right? The last 3 or 4 years, let's face it, the Red Sox have kind of been outside looking in. It's nice to have this meaningful game mid-September. It's old school. It's a feeling you always had.
I tell you what, I always, when I was playing, I always liked this series late in the season, and it's because it's like a little bit of taste of what can be coming in October.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get more familiar, because at some point, you know, you're gonna have to face these guys right here, because they always are in it pretty much. So it's like preparing yourself for it.
Nate Eaton will take ball four. It's interesting you say that, because the way you performed September, October, frankly, all year round, but October was your month, was your time, where you had that incredible ability to slow everything down, frankly, like nobody I've ever seen.
I don't know, but it would just, I think it was, I had to blame that on the fans. I always had to keep on saying that we had the best fans on earth. No disrespect to New York, no disrespect to LA, no disrespect to nobody else. But our fans, they just don't care if the game is one side or the other. They just stay there and they take it. And to me, that was very important. You know, I was having a conversation a couple of days ago with a friend of mine also about when I retired. And he said, man, you have such a great season, your last season, that I think that you could go another year. And I told my boy, you know what, I have so much, I have a contract still for the following season, but it was taking me so long and it was taking so much out of me that I probably could, but just feeling that I wasn't gonna give the fans my best, it was just clicking in my head, you know, and that's why I prefer not to play the following season, because my body was demanding more and more and more as you get older, you know what I'm saying? And these fans deserve the best, man. These fans deserve the best 100%.
I saw it too. I mean, we would come back, you know, after a road trip. It'd be 3 o'clock in the morning, and you would walk through the airport, and it was tough. Your feet were banged up, man. You had a rough time. Yeah.
After the game, and I cool off the engine, you can tell that I was hurting.
Little looper here to left. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Taken off for third. Eaton, here's the throw. The tag. He is going to be out at third. So Eaton cut down after the base hit by Sogard.
He's trying to do too much, right? Trying to get into the moment. You know, Papi, you're talking about how big these games are. This is right in front of you. Probably just over-aggressive when it comes to Eaton. But again, I look down this lineup. I see Bregman. I see Story. You talk about meaningful playoff games. It's the only kind of veterans I see here. So it's important for these guys like Nate Eaton, maybe a little bit too aggressive in the moment here, right? A lot of these young players, how important are these games is a postseason run to see what it's like. I mean, you were great in the postseason out of the gate, but it's important, right, to kind of play like this?
Well, that's why the playoff experience is very important. I can't wait to see this team in playoff this year. Hopefully they go through everything, because they have done an incredible job. These kids have been able to put it together, even going through some tough times with injuries, with trades and all that stuff. These guys, especially before the end of the first half of the season, what they did was incredible, and what they continue doing, battling in this division that has so many tough teams. I'm very proud of these guys, and I'm gonna tell you what. In a playoff, the reason why I always believe that playoff experience counts is because you know that you have no room for mistake. For example, I like the aggressiveness right here in this play, but in October, you got to be careful with that play.
This guy's too good to give him outs. Free.
You know what I'm saying? So it's based on the lack of opportunity that you get in the playoff, and the one that you get that you have to be able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not worried about this team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm zero worried. And with Anthony Drummond, being able to at least come back before the end of the regular season, that's a plus. I love that kid. That kid is so talented, and he brings so much to the table. I'm so glad that he's here with us.
Yeah, hopefully he can get back. We'll see, but
Connor Wong will sting that one down the left field line. That'll bounce to the corner. Sogard into third, pulls up there, and then with a double, Connor Wong, and Red Sox have second and third, one down.
Yeah, you go back. You mentioned that Eaton play, right, too. It's like you start thinking about it. Got Fried carried this inning, kind of got him a little. You can't give Fried extra outs, but a huge play. Connor's been swinging it really well. Papi, I wanted to ask you, people always talk about how, the great players slow it down in the postseason. Personally, I don't agree with that. I think you just don't let it speed up like the rest of people. I think you stay the exact same in the postseason as you are in June, and that's why you're great.
I agree with you. It's not about slowing down. It's more of recognizing the moment and take advantage of, because in the playoff, everybody gain, increase. Everybody gain, get better. So, and everything happen fast. So the opportunity are not that many, so you have to be ready to execute it.
One down. David Ortiz, the legend, in the booth with us as Cedon tries to get on track and swings right through that cutter at 97.
And this is the reason why we're talking about the importance of Cedon. He connects, guys in the middle of the order. He connects to the top of the order. He was absolutely on fire the first half. Second half has been a struggle, and right there, kind of expanding first two pitches.
Two men in scoring position with one away, and Fried's 0-2. And a swing and a miss. He humped it up to 99. Throwing even harder today, and he strikes him out. So two gone. And then top of the order, and Romy Gonzalez. You mentioned that stretch, David, right before the All-Star break when the Red Sox won 10 straight games, and what that did for this team's identity and self-confidence to be able to pull that off. That was huge.
They know they had the talent. They wasn't just able to put it all together.
Nope.
And they did. And once they had that taste, they had that feeling, and they understand the importance of working as a team, as a group. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not all about having two guys that hit 40 bump and then nothing else. No, I don't mind having guys hitting 20, 25, guy that can run the bases, guy that can put the ball in play good defense, and collectively you're gonna have the result.
Romy a base hit in first to run his hitting streak to 13 straight. Yankees ahead 2-0. A base hit could tie this thing. And a 1-1 from Fried. And he'll miss up top for a ball.
Papi, you play with one of the greatest right-handed hitter in the game, Manny Ramirez. I'm curious, just your thoughts on Judge, what you see.
There's batters, there's baseball player, different type of era that you can tell that they are on their own bubble. And Aaron Judge is one of those guys. I love his body language. I love his composure. I love the way you don't even know when the guy's doing bad or when he's doing good. Like I haven't really seen many players being able to control their emotions no matter what the situation is.
Yeah.
And this guy I have seen in many different scenarios, and his body language is always the same. That's hard to do. And guess what? When you learn how to do that, you stay good for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And Aaron is one of those special players that had that type of blessing. And all I had to say, people, in the era that those type of players, those caliber players get to play into it, and just enjoy it. That's all you can do. Enjoy it, because you don't see that many.
Well, I'll enjoy it on Monday when he gets out of town.
Yeah, get out of town, man. Get out of town. I don't want to enjoy you right now, babe.
362 career home runs. Moving up the charts in Yankee history. Romy with a count of 3-2, 2 down. Red Sox with a couple of men set to score. Romy.
Another good at bat here from Romy. Really, this is the one guy you want up the way he's been swinging it lately, especially against lefties.
No doubt. Freed from the set, and the payoff pitch. He got him. Well, he got tough when he had to. Back-to-back strikeouts. More with Big Papi when he come back here to Fenway Park. 2-0 Yankees. Red Sox have stranded 4 in the early going as we take it to the top half of the third inning, and a great David Ortiz, who had this crowd on fire before the game. Red Sox trail 2-0. You were making a great point, David, during the commercial break. Watching Fried pitch, throwing 99, 97, 96 miles an hour, left-hander, and how when you were playing, that would have been highly unusual for a guy to be able to pull that off.
I tell you what, as a baseball analyst, I give so much credit to the batters nowadays, and it's because I gotta say, you see the best of the best out of this pitcher every day. Every era comes with their thing. This era is based on power more than everything else. You have, out of 12 pitchers or 13 pitchers that you have in your roster, nowadays 10 of them throw 97 plus. You know, that 10, 15 years ago and before, you don't see that much of velocity. Now the work ethic, the preparation for the game nowadays is totally different. I mean, the technology, high increase, everything, and now the teams are let afraid to let guys body build their body to be able to increase their power. So it is what it is on every era. But what I saw coming from Free right now, it was something that I would call in my time special. You throw a quarter 97, a four-seamer 99, and a sinker 97.
Yes.
I'm sorry, people, but don't try that at home.
Well, that's the biggest difference. Talking to a lot of the guys here, the hitting coaches, the game today, it's old school. Used to have a four-seamer or a curveball, or you were a sinker-slider guy. Now everyone has a four-seamer, sinker, and a cutter. Like they have 3 different fastballs.
It just from the batter viewing point, I think you got to really prepare to have bad speed. So when you get the opportunity, like in my case, I never had issues with velocity because I had that type of bad speed. But I play with a lot of guys that they don't have that incredible bad speed that some other has, and they will definitely have issues with that velocity. You know what I'm saying? So as a batter, in my case, I used to have like I used to call it. I used to have a radar where I used to either slow it down or fast forward. It all depend the velocity that I was facing that night. You know what I'm saying? I had to graduate myself to be able to catch up with. But today, I guess you just gotta just pump it up because everybody's 97 plus. And I would say this. In my days, if I know that everything you throw was hard, you were going to have a problem with me. Because it was easier for me to make an adjustment than making an adjustment from a guy that was a slow and then a slower and then a slower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
below hitting speed.
Yeah, but I give a lot of credit to these guys nowadays, because I'm telling you, the velocity involved in the game nowadays is absolutely incredible.
And the other thing too, you see from hitters is, you don't see any crazy batting stances anymore. They have to be almost in a hitting position because there's so much power. They have to get to a hitting position quicker, right? You see a lot of these guys that they just don't have time to get into a crazy stance.
Before, people worry about how comfortable they feel like. Now you have to definitely worry about how to find a shortcut from point A to point B in the fastest way.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that in the game nowadays, you got no chance. This guy will eat you alive.
You were talking about Roman Anthony and how impressed you are with him. Just 21 years old. Pretty amazing. But a lot of the elements that you brought as a hitter, the incredible command of the strike zone, identifying so quickly what's coming out of the hand, which you did at a Hall of Fame level. When you watch a guy like that at that age, does it blow you away a little bit that somebody is that mature a hitter at 21 as this one's rolled foul by Bellinger?
It is. I got to tell you, when you are that good at 21, you had it since you were born. Every baseball player had to work their way out. And someone delivery early, somebody delivery a little later. Everybody's different. But I always had to say that those guys that at the age of 21 know what they're doing at the play, strike zone wise, bat speed wise, mechanic. That's a God-given talent that I don't care what you do, it's come with you from factory.
Born with.
Yeah, he's born with. And Anthony is one of the special kids that has it. When I got to the big league when I was 21, I had the ability to hit very well, but I had to work and continue learning, and to the point that I get comfortable in a box. And it was a lot of ups and down, until I figured it out. Anthony, to me, it looked like he already figured it out. I watched some of his at bat, and it seems like he had been here longer. That's the way it looked like. Like his body language, his expression is unique.
Line shot up the middle. Bellinger with a base hit. Judge rounding. Here's the throw into third. High toss. Bregman had to bring that down. And here come the Yankees again, first and third. Nobody out. And Jazz Chisholm will be next.
That's what this middle of this lineup can do, right? You're really careful to Judge to lead off the inning. It's a walk. Similar to Bellinger, you get deep in the counts. He just went up and got this sinker. He smoked it up. You know what? I wanted to ask you, because you see Judge running in the third. I was never a guy that ever got pitched around. Just wasn't who I was. Second and third, nobody, whatever it is, they're going to pitch to you. Your first pitch fastball you take because you don't know if they're going to pitch to you or not. They're going to throw you off speed like they're pitching around you. What is that mentality like when you're in the box and you're thinking, they might be pitching around me, but I want to stay aggressive?
I was more aggressive in the situation than when it was in second and third. And it was because first base open. I know they want to, basically try to get me chasing pitches out of the strike zone, because they know in the strike zone I was a little too dangerous. But hitting had to make sense to you in a type of way that you are on balance with any type of pitch, no matter what. In my case, I was always looking for something that I can drive. Let it get deep, use my hands, drive it. That was my mentality. Because I know that the pitcher was going to try to give me their best.
Another run in. Judge will score on the base hit by Chisholm. When infield hit first time, and kind of a half swing here to pick up an RBI. 3-0.
He's got like a swing and a half here. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And Babe, you come into this thing the way Fried was throwing that baseball. You had an opportunity in the bottom of the second. You couldn't get a couple across. And now he finds himself in another big hole here in the third.
You played in so many of these, David, so many gigantic historical games with the Yankees. Was that the most fun you had in a Red Sox uniform? I mean, obviously the World Series were the World Series, but so many amazing games, nights against these guys. A high pop up into left. Rev Snyder all day to get underneath this one, and makes the catch, and one away.
Yeah, playing against the Yankees always was special. I mean, look at the crowd. I mean, you can see around Fenway Park how active everything gets once you're playing against these guys. I mean, it's very traditional whenever we have to play against the Yankees, and people love it. It's the one game that I now that I'm not playing, I see how the fans prepare for this series. You know, yeah. Like I always here in Boston, and at the restaurant when I go down to have lunch for a 7 p.m. game, I can see the fans already popping it up and getting ready for 7 p.m. games. And I'm like, oh wow,
popping it up is right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a great time whenever the Yankees come in town, or whenever we go over there, because people really love this series.
No challenge at first base. What I love too is when we go to Yankee Stadium, even today, Yankee fans, as we're going to the ballpark, are still talking about David Ortiz and how you broke their hearts over and over again. The last guy Joe Torre ever wanted to see come to bat was David Ortiz, and they still have this look of fear whenever we bring up Big Papi in their eyes. I think it's a marvelous thing.
I tell you what, the Yankee fans, I have so much respect for them. They always come to me everywhere I go. They be like, hey, Papi, I'm a Yankee fan, but I respect you. And I be like, hey, listen, no hard feeling. I was just doing my job, trying to get my team winning. So I'm not playing anymore, so have fun.
Right. Well,
but I used to love competing against the Yankees, because the Yankees always had these good teams that they want to challenge you, and I think that was the thing. I'm always getting prepared to put up with the challenge. That was my thing. That was my mentality when I used to play. So I always used to, you know, I was always looking for this series.
Got 3-0 here on Wells as we chat with the great David Ortiz. Runners at second and third for the Yankees as they lead it 3-0. Wells to be followed by Ryan McMahon, bottom of the order here. Bayo trying to get back in the count against Wells. He struck him out looking in the first.
This 4 p.m. game were my favorite.
You really like these?
I used to love them because you don't have to come here too early, but you wasn't going home too late either. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the guys finished playing today, they had time to have dinner with their family. And at the same time, those guys had time to even have breakfast with their family as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the perfect time to play.
3-2.
The only thing is that you only can do it during the weekend because people have to work during the week.
Not exactly the most fun for whoever's playing right field during these games. Right? That low line driving right.
I know, dude. That the shadow right there is, yeah.
Oh, the sun comes at you. Nate Eaton, good luck.
3-2 pitch from Bayo. And time granted here to Wells.
It's a big at bat right here. You know, you're 3-0. You can't afford to give up much more. 3-2 count here to Wells. Bayo's got to bear down here, execute.
Everybody hitting bombs in the lineup. What's going on?
3-2 from the righty.
Back leg slider. Let's go.
And got him. Struck him out.
Let's go.
David, always a pleasure. Always an honor, my friend.
Me,
thank you so much. The great David Ortiz in our booth here. Red Sox trail 3-0. They could use a little Papi at this stage here in game number 2 of the series.